But let's get into this next topic. Demand is still strong. AI demand, man. Let's get into this topic. I'm following the NVIDIA, the ASML, things like that. If you new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jonathan. I'm 24 years old. Cover all things business, finance, reaction videos to a wide range of topics. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're interested. If you found some good information, you smiled, you laughed, just hit a subscribe and like it for me. Or leave a like at least. That ain't too much, bro. That's all I ask, bro. Follow me on social media, all my platforms up above, JRush23X. Go ahead and do that. And if you're returning, appreciate you for returning back to the channel. Depending on how long you've been rocking with me, we've been going up a little bit. Just trying to get consistent with it. Appreciate y'all. But AI demand is still strong, you feel me? My portfolio been booming, so let's see what they talking about.
Today, recovering from yesterday's broader chip sell-off. Amazing.
Yeah, there was a chip sell-off too. ASML 2 is down like, how much is ASML down? I put some more bread into it. I bought more.
Stop waiting. Start investing. E-Trade from Morgan Stanley.
NVIDIA climbing today, recovering from yesterday's broader chip sell-off on the heels of a disappointing earnings leak from ASML. That stock still sinking today. NVIDIA also getting hit with news that the DOJ is considering capping AI chip exports to some countries. Joining me now to discuss all this is Bernstein Research's Stacy Rascon. Stacy, it's good to have you here. It always sounds like there's a ton going on.
Always trying to cap
NVIDIA. Certainly there is. Not to mention we have, Jensen is really on the circuit out there, kind of preaching the future at every turn as well. And yet the stocks, it's up 0.7% this week. It's kind of hanging in there onto this gain. So separate out what matters and what might not for this one.
Yeah, you bet. So yesterday took a hit along with the rest of the sector on two things. One was the ASML earnings leak, which was interesting in its own right, and some of the export control news. I think any hit that it took on the ASML report was probably not really justified because, well, ASML's report, as we all know now, was not great. The one sort of bright spot from it was AI demand. It seems like AI demand is still off the charts. It's not the only thing that is, but it's still very strong, and clearly like that benefits NVIDIA. I do wonder if some of the hit yesterday was more around some of the export control stuff, and what's going on there is there were some stories that suggest the U.S. is considering, I guess they suggested capping the licenses that NVIDIA and other AI chip vendors can use to sell parts to other countries, particularly, I guess, in this case, the Middle East.
I mean, I understand that because you want to keep competition. We want the U.S. to be at the forefront of technology, so I can understand that. The reason for the ASML sell-off, earnings report, going a little shaky, but come on now. It's been up, but now the past month it's down 10%. It's down 17%. The past 6 months, year to date, it's up 0.56%. You know what I mean? But hey, that's a buying opportunity for me. I bought more. I started buying an ASML. I forgot what year. Like end of last year for real. Like around that 600. I was really in like early, like around here, like 500-600 range, and I just kept dollar cost averaging. But it's been selling off a lot. But hey, that just means it's on sale. And when a good stock is on sale, you buy more. Don't fear. You just buy more, bro.
I'd say it, and though I'm not sure it's that big of a deal, I guess we'll see. But caps, in my opinion, are not bans. They already have license. They're already under licensing arrangements with the Middle East. They have to get licenses to ship there anyways. And frankly, the other outright bans that we've seen in the past haven't really slowed them down at all. So I'm not terribly worried about that. They seem to be more incremental than anything else. And we saw the stock yesterday was coming down before the ASML. They dropped sharply and then kind of recovered a little bit afterwards. And
this video is a little bit late, but NVIDIA is just hit new all-time highs, bro.
So I think today it's kind of relaxing a little bit as it's clear that the ASML news is not a direct read across, and maybe the export control stuff isn't as big of a deal as people might have been worried at first.
Yeah, and the market clearly, as you suggest, making its peace with whatever all this is. And I know there's a way also of saying, listen, this stock is where it traded 4 months ago. It had an absolutely massive run. It gets to $3.3 trillion market cap.
That's fine with me.
And then maybe it needs to kind of hang
fine
out for a
with
while
me.
and figure out exactly
That's
how
fine
long
with
we're going
me.
to be in this lucky position
That's
of
fine with
demand
me, bro.
outracing supply
We buy more.
into next year. So where do you think that sits in terms of investor expectations and how the stock is positioned?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You sort of look at the last couple of months, it was in a lot of news flow. The stock took a big hit several months ago on the Blackwell delay rumors, and while it does seem that there were some issues there, it really looks like they've worked through without any problems, right? So it didn't really have any impact on the demand trajectory. And I'd say since then, the stock was I went to $90 or something, like close to it, and so it certainly recovered off of that. I guess that was a great entry point in hindsight. And look, going forward, I mean, all of the checks on AI demand, like I said, they're going to sell everything that they can make. And you mentioned Jensen's out there. I think he's been on your channel more than once in recent weeks and sounding very enthusiastic. It's the one bright spot in the whole semiconductor arena right now. It's the one thing where we can definitively point and say demand is probably going.
I hope ASML does a stock split, bro.
To exceed expectations, even expectations that I think are going up now. Some of the other areas in semis, I wish you could say that. You can't really say that.
ASML is literally like the backbone of this chip revolution. Like they actually manufacture the chips. Like they're a key component in all of this. You can't make chips without ASML. So they're definitely a monopoly and a moat when it comes to the stock industry, the chip industry.
No, for sure. Well, speaking of the other areas of semis, I mean, we also have these reports that, you know, maybe Qualcomm, if it is considering some kind of a bid for Intel, might be waiting till actually after the.
Interesting. Let's look at this next video.
With NVIDIA.
Bullish.
Which is trading
Bulls
on a bullish call. B of A Securities raising its price target on the tech giant to $190 from $165, reiterating its buy rating.
We need that, baby. We need 190. We need that 90 generational opportunity.
Advantage in a growing market. The stock already up nearly 180% just this year. And that's after last year where it's something like tripled. Now here's the analyst behind that call, Vivek Arya. Vivek, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, I guess the question.
And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. If you're new here, my name's Jonathan, 24 years old. This is my YouTube channel, all things business, finance, reaction videos. I like talking about money. I like talking about business. So I like getting into stocks and all that good stuff. Investing, budgeting, and we're gonna get a lot into the topics on this channel. If you're interested in that, leave a like. If I made you laugh, I learned something new, like, subscribe, possibly. You might be interested. If you're a returning subscriber, appreciate you for tuning in with me. And keep rocking with me. But let's get back to this video. All information above.
In reply to the idea, I have no question that NVIDIA is going to be a great company for a long time to come. But it has already had that generational moment, it would seem to me. So how do you see it moving multiples higher from here, generationally, I suppose?
Tyler, let me actually tell you a story first. So, you know, the first commercial internet
story
started in the US in 1989. Amazon started in 94, Google in 98, and Meta in 2004. The point here is that, you know, you don't just have 1 or 2 year technology cycles when you are investing in these real big changes to the technological infrastructure. And we think generative AI is one of those really big technological changes that is going to take time to play out. It is true that it is insanely computationally intensive. You need a very strong linkage between the silicon, the system, the software, the developers. They all need to come together. But this is not something that will just start and end in 1 or 2 years. And specific to NVIDIA, in the last 2 weeks, we had the chance to meet with, we had the chance to interact with and listen to a number of companies
just hit all-time highs.
It already hit and what is coming out
it's taking my portfolio
is that the opportunity is much larger. Their competitive position is much
5 days,
stronger.
week chart 133.
At the stock.
We're already at the
right. We have a stock
144,
that is trading less than 1 times
144.50.
earnings growth. And if you were to take an average of the other so-called Max 7, they are trading at 1.9 times their average earnings growth for next year. That is why we think that we are in front of a large opportunity. The company is executing well, and the valuation is very compelling, even at these levels.
Vivek, let me ask you, today's interesting because NVIDIA is doing well, but the rest of the semis are actually struggling, and the stocks is lower. What explains that?
Yes, Kenny, I think, you know, this week we had the start of earnings. We had one very tough report from ASML.
Very.
Then we had a very strong report from TSMC. Next
Oh
week,
yeah,
we will
TMC,
have a number of
TMC
other
went
earnings reports
crazy.
from semiconductor companies. And the challenge the industry is facing is that this, one shiny area of AI is doing extremely well, but it is less
I
than
got
40%
a
of the
couple shares
overall
of
industry,
TMC.
whereas the rest of the industry, which has to do with industrial and automotive and PC
50%
and
this year.
smartphone demand, that is just not doing as well. So I think it's possible that investors are taking a wait and see attitude before we get into the heart of this earnings season. So I think it's that kind of very normal earnings volatility that we usually see.
Yeah.
How wide and deep is the NVIDIA moat?
Sure. So what I think AI is telling us is that it is not just good enough to be a chip maker, right? That you need to make sure that you can scale these chips across a system, that you have software that can be optimized to deliver the best computational performance, that you're taking care of all the energy, right, and the power requirements, that you're working at scale with the supply chain in Asia, and then importantly, that you're working with an enterprise ecosystem. A few days ago, we saw NVIDIA signing the relationship with Accenture, who will train thousands of people to go and deploy NVIDIA-based systems. So I think it takes that end-to-end knowledge, and only one company today is able to deliver that. And this is not something you overcome in a day or a year or 2 or 3 years, because NVIDIA has been investing in this kind of silicon and software right from the days when they were just a gaming company. Their core operating system called CUDA came out over a dozen years ago. So that's the kind of advantage and lead that they have built, both in terms of their investments in software. And today,
NVIDIA has been around for a while. That's why you just gotta stay down, trust the company, definitely believe in leadership. You gotta see is the industry they're in, is it easy, is barrier to entry low, things like that. When I get the Patreon up and running, I'm definitely gonna get into how I really pick my stock. But if you